Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of Fairy Tail episode 168. And if you're in from last episode, we get to see Urza challenge 100 monsters from Pandemonium, and she wins. Now, we're not done. There's a second part of the competition, and apparently it's called MPF, but guess what? Kana from Fairy Tail Team B is the clear-cut winner, so we have in first place, Urza for the win. Second place, Kana for the win. It was a clear lockout for Fairy Tail all around. Now we're taken to a different scene toward the end of the episode with Raventail, and apparently they have obtained the upcoming matches, like a list of the matches that'll be coming up next. Okay, so who gave them this list? How did they obtain it to begin with? But again, that's where the episode ends, and I'll hold my final thoughts and rating to the end of the clip, so stay tuned. Let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with a little information that's being thrown right at us. The current standings of the Grand Magic Games, the rankings. First place, Raventail. Second place, Lame Scale. Third place, Sabretooth. Okay, now fourth place, it's kind of a tie between Mermaid Healed, wait for it, Fairy Tail Team A. So fourth place, it's a tie between Mermaid Heel and Fairy Tail Team A. So they finally moved up in the rankings. Now because there's a tie, there is no fifth place technically, so in sixth place we have Fairy Tail Team B. So they're also moving up. I love that. Now seventh place is Blue Pegasus, but it wasn't really mentioned. And eighth place is Quattro Frickin' Puppy. They're in last place and no one really gives a damn. Now moving on past that, guess what? Raventail is on the move. Something is fishy and they're up to something. Just putting that out there. And again, I have to say this, and I love saying this, the battle part has begun. Third day, and now it's time for the battles. I love this part. I love it. So we're taking to a different scene with the first match. So you must be asking yourself, okay, what's the matchup? It's got to be good. Give me something good, Henshin. Give it to me. Okay, so the first matchup is Milena from Mermaid Heel versus Samaz from Quattro Puppy. Okay, I've seen enough of Milena, so there's nothing really left. I mean, she's shown me just about everything. So, again, it's Milena versus Samaz. I thought this was kind of interesting. Now, Samaz starts out with Wild Spin, nothing too special, so he's just spinning around. And we see Milena, she uses Cat Binding Tube to slow him down, but it doesn't really work. It backfires on her. So we see Milena try Kitten Blast. It was a cute name, but horrible technique in my opinion. Didn't really do anything, so nothing happened. Now we do see Samaz use Wild Spin yet again. That's the only thing he seems to be using. And then we see Milena use Cat Binding Tube yet again, but in a different way, and Milena wins. So it's a cut and dry match, nothing too special. So it wasn't my favorite match, to be honest, but again, Milena from Mermaid Heel is the clear-cut winner. Moving on, now we're taking to the second matchup. Yeah, I love this fast pace. So we're taking to the second matchup, and it's Rufus from Sabretooth versus Eve from Blue Pegasus. I love the matchup. It gets better. So we see Eve. He actually starts off this match with his snow magic, but it misses. Now we've already seen his snow magic before, his White Fury. Doesn't really do anything too spectacular, but he misses. Now Rufus, you're up. And I love what Rufus did. He uses a Star Falls on the Night. I love how he says it, and I love his technique in general. However, it's a direct hit, or is it? No, apparently there's a copy made of Snow of Eve, so he was already ready to go. So Rufus misses and hits a copy of Eve? Really? Thought you were supposed to be good, man. Now we're throwing a little bit of information about Eve because we really know nothing about him in general or how he joined up with Blue Pegasus, but I'm kind of happy we have a little more information about him. So apparently he originally was from the council, so he was a member of the council, and he was part of the Ruin Knights of the Enforcement and Detention Corps. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't really see that coming. So he's got a heavy background, so he's not a weak guy. He's pretty strong, at least in my opinion. Now we're taking to a different scene with Eve. He uses White Blizzard. I love him when he uses White Blizzard. It's amazing, and he's using it as a diversion. So he's using his White Blizzard as a diversion, and he uses White Fang. I love it. However, Rufus uses Memory Make, and we already saw how he was going to use this before. We've seen this technique. We know exactly what's going to happen. So we see this whole arena. Now it's kind of different than before. We see the whole arena, and the whole arena is turned into, like, it looks like heat. Not hot lava, but you know, like you see stuff coming out of the ground, it's getting really hot. So Eve really can't use his magic, at least not that well. And guess what? We see Rufus, he uses Rage of the Burning Earth. That's what he uses, and it gets kind of interesting. I mean, I didn't see Rufus ever doing something like this before, so okay, yeah, Rufus for the win. Because you know what? Rufus wins. He uses his ancient magic. It's being brought up. Rufus uses ancient magic. So that was kind of interesting, and I kind of saw some of his techniques coming, but I thought this was going to be a bigger match. Come on, it's Rufus. Yeah, I'm disappointed. You can tell. Yeah. Anyways, we're taking to a different scene with Meister from Blue Pegasus, and he has some secret plan. We don't know, but he's bragging about it. Because Blue Pegasus won, he brings it up. We've got a secret plan. And then we see this little character in a blue bunny outfit right behind him. I believe this character belongs to Blue Pegasus, but it's kind of interesting because it's a blue bunny in an outfit. And I'm like, who's in the outfit? Who's in the outfit? Were you going to laugh us to death? You're going to make me laugh hysterically? That's your big plan, right? Okay, but we are taking to a different scene, and it is the third matchup. Laxus from Fairy Tail Team B versus Alexia from Raven Tail. Now, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong on purpose because I'm being sarcastic, because we already know who his real identity is. Obviously, it's Laxus's father. Just putting that out there. Big spoiler. Spoiler. Yeah, anyways, we see Laxus versus his father, and I thought it was an interesting matchup. You know, Raven Tail versus Fairy Tail. You know, bad blood, father and son. It's like son versus father. So, interesting. I love it. I love where it was going. Now, we do find out the judges are feeling a little uncomfortable with the matchup because they have a bad feeling about it. Now, Liar from the council has a backup plan for Raven Tail if they try anything. So Liar is watching this match pretty closely. So in case they do anything like they start cheating, he'll be in there, he'll swoop in, and he'll take care of it. So that's kind of interesting. Now, Fairy Tail, they're not screwing around because remember when Lucy was fighting Flare, she was cheating. She had help. So Fairy Tail is not going to let Raven Tail cheat, so they're watching Raven Tail really closely from the audience. So they're, as spectators, they're watching Raven Tail. They have, everyone's like watching them closely. I'm laughing, like, how the hell can you have a fair fight if you're doing that, technically? I mean, that's kind of, sorry, I digress. I just thought it was hilarious. Even Biscuit was checking it out. I'm like, come on. Sniper gun right at them. Perfect. So we're taking two different scenes between Laxus and his father, and Laxus kicks off with an attack directly. So Laxus has been attacked directly. I was like, what? But this is Laxus. He was ready to talk with, this guy, with his father, and he's like, he didn't know it was his father at the time though, but they're talking, or he was about to talk, and then he was attacked randomly with hand-to-hand combat. Laxus is getting his ass handed to him on a silver platter. Okay, there's a big catcher. Something's up, man. Guess what? It's a hallucination. This is an hallucination magic. All of this crap is an illusion. The crowd doesn't know really what's up, what's really happening, because it's how it is. Okay, this guy, Laxus's father, is using special magic. Technically, it's hallucination magic on the crowd. So they're seeing one thing while he gets to talk with his son in a different dimension. I'm like, what? Oh, this isn't Laxus' thing. Laxus does not like this because he wants to kick his father's ass, plain and simple. So this is kind of a little disturbing in my opinion because the crowd, they don't know what's really happening. They see Laxus getting his ass kicked when that's not really happening. Just putting that out there, of course. Now we are taking to a different scene. Now apparently this hallucination magic is an illusion and is being used as a camouflage for negotiations between Laxus and his father. I'm like, okay, well, what's the big deal? I don't understand. Apparently, Raven Tail now has their top elite members now on the field, and they're in camouflage as well. And they're with, Laxus's father, and they're having an open dialogue with Laxus. Now, apparently, this is what, Raven Tail really wants from Laxus. Apparently, they want something called a Luma Historia. That's why they had this whole trap set up. I'm like, just so they can get Laxus to tell them what he doesn't know. Laxus admits to his father he has no idea what the Luma Historia is, and even if he did know what it was and where it was at, he wouldn't give it to them. So good for you, Laxus. I love this. However, we're taking to a different scene toward the end of the episode, and we find out it's now Laxus versus five different members from Raven Tail, including his father, of course. So I'm like, this just got interesting. Laxus versus five different other members from Raven Tail. I love it. And again, that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, Laxus, plain and simple, what are you going to do? Fairy Tail can't help you, even though I doubt you'd even ask for help. What are you going to do? It's you versus five members of Raven Tail. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? I can't wait. Moving on past that, I'm wondering if Liar from the council, which is also a judge, if he notices anything. I mean, come on. If you're part of the council and you can't see what's really happening, you don't deserve to be part of the council to begin with. Now, I'm wondering if anyone else notices what's really going on. I mean, does Jalel see anything happening? Can he sense anything? We really don't know. And what about the captain of the guards, Arcadia? Well, what about this guy? What's he up to? Where is he at? We have no idea. But again, that ends it for my final thoughts. Nothing too special there. As per my rating, 4 out of 5. You know why? First of all, we get to see Laxus' father. You know, Laxus versus father. I love the matchup. Now, seeing Rufus versus Eve kind of was an interesting fight. I was rooting for Rufus, I'm being honest. But it really wasn't much of a fight in my opinion. It could have been more. As for Milena versus Samaz, cough, cough. You know, I didn't enjoy that matchup. It was cut and dry, plain and simple. And that ends it for my final rating. I mean, 4 out of 5. There was no drama. It was just all fighting, and I loved it. So again, final rating, 4 out of 5. But again, that ends it for my walkthrough review of Fairy Tail episode 168. Definitely comment down below, let me know, thumbs up, thumbs down, definitely subscribe, check me out on Twitter, and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And I gotta hit the bricks. I gotta go. You know, I gotta do more reviewing. I gotta watch more anime. It's the weekend. But guys, I gotta go. And before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.